Hello, my name is Brett Eby. I'm here with my friend Isaiah. He's going to help me out film this interview for Counseling Psychology 650. This is for my second video project where I'm supposed to do a helping interview. And in this instance, I'm going to try and help my friend Isaiah here just kind of talk through some of the pain that he's going on right now because he recently was diagnosed with torticollis. So in this interview, we'll talk a little bit about that and what's going on. So Isaiah, I know you're kind of in some pain right now, but other than that, how are you doing?
As best as I can.
Yeah.
I guess that's all you could really say.
Yeah, I know this isn't really your first time dealing with kind of pain like this. So how do you normally deal with these kind of situations?
Ignore them as best as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I try my best to make it feel like it's not there and then pray. It's really the main thing. I probably pray more than anything. And then hopefully God can take care of it, I guess.
No, that's good. So, because I kind of feel like a lot of people, like when they do like have severe pains or injuries or something like that, they just think about it too much.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're doing a lot of things to keep it from just consuming your mind, you know?
Yeah, that's the main thing. Well, after breaking your ankle and elbow and millions of sprained ankles playing in basketball tournaments and stuff, you can't really think about the pain. You just have to do. And if you don't just do what you have to do, then you're just going to be kind of like sitting there soaking, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sitting there soaking.
I like that. So how does this compare with breaking them? I mean, muscle spasms and bone breaking are two different things. So could you kind of compare how those two are related?
When I broke my ankle, maybe I was in shock, or maybe I just have really high tolerance of pain. But when I broke it right away, I was in like extreme amount of pain. Then like 10 minutes later, I was just trying to ignore it so much that I walked on it. We went to get food. When we went to get food, one of my friends started pointing at my ankle and was like, that's nasty, you need to go get it fixed, all this stuff. Ended up going to the hospital and I broke it in 3 spots. This, I guess how you could compare is this is just a non-stop pain. Like it's more annoying because it's on my neck, you know what I mean? I can't turn the way I want to turn, I can't go where I want to go, I can't move. Whereas when I broke my ankle, I could still hop around, and they give you a cast, and they give you all this stuff that kind of keeps you in place. I have nothing to keep. You can't keep spasms in place. I can keep my neck straight, but it won't stop from my whole neck and shoulder spasming. Yeah. So this is probably more of annoying pain, but not as a severe pain.
Okay, so I guess it's just kind of a backstory for people who watch this. What is going on right now with your spasms? What did the doctors say that this is?
It's torticollis. It's also called wry neck. It's where you sleep wrong. Like, I guess that's what they told me is my situation. I just slept wrong for maybe a day or two. I don't really know. But then they said that your neck just tightens up and then twists, and then it like causes severe neck spasms every 5 minutes. For a little, right when it happened, it was every 20 seconds I was having a neck spasm, and you could easily see my whole neck and shoulder just come almost up. It almost looks like it comes off the bone, like my muscle just appears off the bone, and then you have to, for me, my best way of dealing with it is I just push the muscle back, which is now ruined my right wrist. Because I've been pushing so hard that now my right wrist is this is probably going to last a week. The pain, the spasm should only last 3 days.
Okay. Yeah, it's always been kind of interesting to me how everything is related in the human body. I mean, if one thing goes wrong, it's always got an effect on something else. You don't really think. Like, when you first told me about this, I would have never thought that it would also lead to wrist problems and things like that.
Yeah, no.
You're probably just gonna be sore and stiff from just sitting around anyway, because you can't really
do anything.
get up and move a lot. So could you just kind of walk me through what happened yesterday that this all of a sudden became such a problem? Because you've never had anything like this happen before, right?
No, not at all. So on my way to class, I kind of had a kink in my neck, thinking like, oh, this is just normal. I'm not gonna, when people get a kink in their neck,
It
they always
happens all the
can't,
time.
they can't move left for like a couple hours, and they're like, oh, finally, like it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting there in class like, okay, I've had a kink in my neck, but this is way worse than a normal kink in my neck. So I didn't say anything the whole class. I stayed there the whole 50 minutes not saying anything. I went to hand in my paper while everybody else left. I went to go hand it in, and as I handed my paper into my teacher, I fell to the ground. And I passed out for like 30 seconds, he said, woke up, and then there was an MATC cop next to me, and they called the ambulance, and then the ambulance came and resulted into my teacher getting into him with the EMT people because they were very rude. They kind of made me feel bad for being in pain. They did not accommodate me at all. They made it seem like I had to accommodate what they were doing so they could go on with their business. And then they didn't even want to take me to the hospital. They told me that it's just a normal kink in my neck, and that I was basically making it up, that I was kind of like being like a baby about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Until my teacher stepped in and told them all the things that can happen and all this stuff. They tried to be nice, but it didn't really work.
So then, what was the ambulance ride to the hospital like?
Horrid. No one barely talked to me the whole time. I'm sitting there in pain, yelling, and they didn't do anything. There was not one thing that I could say that the EMT people did to help me besides put me in a car and take me.
And you told them that you were having neck problems, and they didn't. Did they even like secure your head or anything like
No.
that?
They did not secure my neck. They did not try to massage my neck. They did not try to touch it. They did not do anything to help me at all. They just put me in the thing. They made me get on the stretcher myself. They made me do all this stuff myself. They did not help me try to pick me up, try to secure my neck so it wouldn't hurt.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Especially with like as much attention that healthcare officials and healthcare employees receive nowadays, you'd think that things like that wouldn't really be as prevalent, people should just know better, especially if these people probably it wasn't their first day on the job.
Yeah,
So,
no, yeah. My teacher filed a complaint at the hospital, and then he's going to follow through with the complaint whenever I can go back to class to